Hi there, I'm Linda Harris, and I am the Director of Events and Programs at the Harriet Tubman Museum and Educational Center, located at 424 Race Street in Cambridge, Maryland. This Christmas Eve, I will, along with my walking partner, Ken Johnston, lead a group in the footsteps that Harriet Tubman took in 1854, Christmas Eve, to help her brothers to freedom, along with 4 other people. I'm very passionate about Harriet Tubman, and even more passionate about freedom and what that really means today. To be free is to have freedom of thought, of movement, to be able to realize your potentiality. And that's how I try to live my life. I try to impart this kind of wisdom to my children. And I take great pride in working at the museum and sharing these amazing stories about Harriet Tubman. I'm going to read to you the passage from this book about her 1854 escape, and it's from the book Tubman Travels, Secrets of the Eastern Shore Guide by Jim Duffy, and Jim Duffy graciously gave me his permission to read the book. So I'm going to read the passage about the break and how it impacted Harriet Tubman's mother, Rit. This was arguably the most eventful undertaking of Tubman's career as a conductor. The scene to imagine on Poplar Neck is Christmas Eve, 1854. Robert Ross was probably the last of Harriet's 3 brothers to arrive after somehow managing to tear himself away from his wife and newborn child to join in the escaped attempt. Along with Ben and Henry Ross, he was running under a frightful deadline, as all 3 brothers were slated to go up on the slave auction block the day after Christmas. Rit must have been going about her preparations for Christmas dinner that day with quite the mix of anticipation and trepidation. How long had it been since she last saw her sons? Those sons were enslaved, after all, and lived some 25 miles away. Opportunities for family reunions in those circumstances must have been few and far between. Then there was the matter of that auction looming ahead. Perhaps a local buyer would scoop the brothers up, allowing them to stay in the area, but perhaps not. Years earlier, 3 of Ret's daughters had been sold to out-of-state owners and shipped into the Deep South, never to be seen again. Would this Christmas dinner be the last time she saw these 3 sons? This is where that business about a mother's love comes in. Ben Ross and his 4 adult children made a decision that day to keep Rit in the dark about the escape that was in the works. Years later, they talked about this decision by describing how they would worry that Rit would not be able to keep her emotions in check. The thought she might raise such an all-out ruckus of grief over this unexpected farewell that it would draw unwanted attention to the cabin. Tubman and the brothers hid from her in a little outbuilding that served as a corn crib. There they watched through a crack in the door while their mother prepared the Christmas dinner they would not be sitting down to eat. Perhaps Ben Tubman and the brothers were worried, too, about whether Rit would hold up under questioning once the brothers' owner alerted local authorities that Robert, Ben, and Henry had gone missing. After all, Ben was worried about his own ability to deal with those questions. He put on a blindfold that Christmas Eve every time he came near Harriet and the brothers, When it came time for them to start making their way to the next station, he walked blindly with them for a bit, removing the covering from his eyes only after they were all out of sight. Those investigators did show up, asking their questions soon enough. And in response, Ben told them the truth. He hadn't seen his sons at all around Christmas time. So this Christmas, when you sit around the table with your family and loved ones, or for Christmas Eve, preparing for Christmas Day, I want you to think about the story of Harriet Tubman and her daring escape to free her 3 brothers and 4 other people, 3 men and a woman. Think about the enormous risks. Think about the bravery. Think about the passion. Think about what freedom meant to her and those enslaved during that period. And when you're thinking about that, know that their enormous, tremendous sacrifices are what made it possible for you and me to sit with our families on Christmas Eve and enjoy it with some semblance of freedom, with some semblance of an opportunity to make our own choices in life. Were it not for their sacrifices, were it not for their determination to change the minds and hearts of people during that period, none of this would be possible. So continue to honor the ancestors by doing and being your best selves, by realizing your potentiality, by sharing, by loving, by giving, by caring, showing empathy for those who have less than you do, and help those who have less than you do. I believe that if you do that in this life, the generations will continue to be successful and progress. So these are my words of wisdom for you this holiday season. I wish you well. I wish you health. I wish you happiness. Merry Christmas.